hurts a bit to reflect on, but when I first started appointment setting in 2023, there were times when I was genuinely working for free. I think it was down to the fact that I couldn't believe that I could actually earn money from my phone. I almost felt like I owed something to the client because I was like, how are you paying me for everything that I'm doing right now? But the bottom line is, I'd trained as a setter. I was actually doing something that they felt that they couldn't continue doing on their account, whether they had little time or whether they actually just didn't have the experience. They probably haven't done all of the appointment setting coaching that I've done. So they needed someone to actually go in, engage with their audience and drive those sales and make genuine connections and build a rapport and actually bring those people from curiosity to conversion. And that's where I came in. But I've seen it time and time again with all of the girls in my academy, where you almost end up with a client that might not be in the position yet to onboard a setter, and that's something that I want to talk to you about today. What I'm about to tell you doesn't just relate to appointment setting. It can actually be a tool that can be used for freelancers everywhere, so definitely stay tuned. When offering your services to an online business, the sort of online businesses that you're working for are startups, scale-ups, and then you get into people that are very established and they have a regimented sales process, but the likelihood is you're being onboarded onto them because they've had some sort of turnover. So for each of these different businesses, you want to be approaching them differently when it comes to onboarding and the outcomes that they want you to specifically drive. When I talk about offering your services for free, it is by accident. Obviously no one wants to do that, but it usually comes down to being sold a dream by someone who is starting up and they might not have the funds to actually onboard you yet. For a setter, this is extremely common because when you think about someone that's in the startup phase, they are wearing so many different hats. A lot of the time, they might not have even finished developing their product or a service. Whether it's a course, whether it's coaching, it's still in that development phase. They're putting a lot of work into that. They then have the clients that they have onboarded and they're having to deliver that service or product to them. They also are marketing their business, whether that's organic marketing on social media, maybe they're investing in paid ads. So at this point, they're thinking, right, I need to start outsourcing, and I know that I've heard from great conversations you can get great qualified leads, and I need to start having these conversations in my DMs. They start doing it, they've not got the training, so then they think, I'm going to onboard a setter. I hear you can get them on a commission-only basis, which is perfect because obviously if they don't make anything doing that, I don't have to pay them. That sounds horrendous for a setter, amazing for an online business owner. But this is where, as an appointment setter, you really need to be putting your foot down and just saying like, absolutely not. Okay, so in my academy, I have now got a rule in place where unless the business is consistently or has made over 20k a month in sales, then they're probably not in the position to onboard an appointment setter, especially on a commission-only basis. Maybe it's different if they want to actually genuinely get time back and they're saying, right, you know what, and now I'm in a growth period, I'm going to be paying you this base rate, and this is what I'm doing to make sure that my business is actually growing in value so you can grow with my business. But unless they're earning 20k a month, they should and must, unless you want to be working for free, offer a base rate. And the reason for this being is 20k a month, 5% commission, 2 hours a day, you at least want to be making 1k from that one client. So although this might seem harsh for online businesses, it genuinely is a way of making your service sustainable and giving you that stability as well that comes with being a freelancer. You do have to put yourself first, and it is all about setting boundaries. Something that I advise all of the girls to get boxed off pretty quickly into my training is a setter identity statement. This setter identity statement is pretty much an anchor and is how you'll introduce yourself to clients, what services you're offering, and a bit about why you're offering them and why they should onboard your service specifically. So let me show you a bit of what this looks like here. So it starts off as a formula, even though not mathematical, this is actually a word formula though. It starts off by saying, I am, then you fill in your identity, who helps, what type of client you help, achieve the specific outcomes you help them achieve, through, and then you say your method or your value, so through appointment setting. And then, this is the bit that I like the most, is I show up with, and then you would add your unique energy or approach, and I'm committed to, and this is where you put in your bigger mission. So for example, you can say, I'm committed to creating more freedom for myself and my clients. Let me read a full example actually, that's probably easier. I am a remote appointment setter who helps online coaches grow their businesses by connecting them with qualified, excited leads. I show up with curiosity and consistency, and I'm committed to creating more freedom for myself and my clients. You can even say something about the fact that you love social media and you're excited to finally make money off your phone, as you're always on it. So something really relatable to you that you feel confident in getting into these chats with clients and portraying your services. We've spoken about how to position yourself, and we've spoken about how to make sure that you are going to achieve some sort of stability when offering your services online. But now let's actually talk about how to find these clients. It's always worth having a second opinion, especially when you have a client that's super eager and promises you the world, because a lot of the time it is just that they're promising you the world, and it normally does fall short of that. So the best way, I believe, of finding clients is really through your network. By through your network, it doesn't have to be asking your next door neighbour whether they have someone that you can work with. It's really about immersing yourself into a community and asking the other girls or the other boys in the community whether they have any leads that it might be worth you reaching out to. And I'm really proud because obviously in my academy I consistently showing roles, which is amazing, but also where all of my girls are on an opportunity at the moment, the clients that they're working with might reach out to the setter and ask if they know anyone for one of their friends that they've met in a business coaching or another network that they're part of, and then my girls can really start putting those roles forward in the group chats as well. But it's really appointment, let's use the case of being an appointment setter, to reach out to other people that are in remote sales and asking like, how did you actually find your clients, or do you have any advice, do you know of anyone? And that's what I mean, it's really not a case of just having an immediate contact as part of your network that can just hand you a client. It's about going down this rabbit hole and building your network, because a lot of the time when you do start offering your services in remote sales or marketing or any sort of freelance position, you are pretty much starting out and your network is your net worth. A lot of the people that come to me, for example, and ask for setters, it's because I might have worked with someone that they know previously, or I've literally just had a chat with them and they know exactly what I do, they follow me on social media, and then they start reaching out. But it's all about being transparent and really just working towards your goals by having these conversations. I was speaking to one of my girls the other day and she asked whether she could reach out to a closer that she knows and ask if they know any setter position. And absolutely, what it is hard to wrap your head around is when it comes to online business, everything is pretty much intertwined. And a lot of my network doesn't actually do appointment setting or even work in remote sales. It's just about having those connections that span over different industries and different services. So I hope this has been a useful summary for how you can position yourself when you're going into that online business or finally providing that product or service that you've been dreaming of. It's definitely a challenge, and it's always worth immersing yourself in different communities to get that support, because the feedback that I get from the girls in my academy is like, I couldn't do this without you, or thank you so much, because it's just nice having someone agree with you or tell you that you are doing the right thing. Especially when it comes to those clients that are like, oh no, commission's fine, everyone said that they can work on commission. Because unless it is you're working for one of those highly successful businesses or someone that is earning 20k a month consistently on socials, it probably isn't worth your time. But they could be promising you a dream, and it's just really about putting boundaries in place, because at the end of the day, when you start something like this, it's to work towards your own dream, not that of another online business. So whether you're new to offering your services online or you're currently struggling to onboard those high value clients and actually be sending invoices that reflect the time and energy you put into these businesses, I really hope this has helped you. And I just want to say again, the value of being part of a community. So any questions, please reach out to me, follow me on Instagram, and I hope you enjoyed.